Hello, everyone. Welcome to DrupalCon Europe. It's the first day and the first session. I wish we could have done this in person in Barcelona, but it is the way it is. I hope next year things get better and we get to do DrupalCons in person again. I am Archita Arora. I am a senior user experience designer at QED 42, and I've been associated with QED 42 for the last 5 years. I have my co-speaker Ruchika today with me.
Hi, I'm Ruchika. I'm the digital marketing specialist at QED 42. And this is my first ever session at a DrupalCon, and I'm super excited to be here.
Great. A successful UX design provides many advantages both for your customer and your business. If users find your website or your product easy to use and interesting, they're likely to come back and continue using your site or your product. This is more likely to lead to a sale. Without a quality user experience, your sales will suffer. There might come many situations when you would look for a design partner. It could be maybe you're launching a new product or a new business. You are probably looking for a brand refresh, refreshing your brand, or planning a strategic marketing campaign. Or you probably already are a design agency and you have a lot of interesting design projects pouring in, and you do not want to let them go, and you want to collaborate with a new design agency to take off some load from your shoulders. So, whatever your motive might be, you do need some expert help, a design expert help, some point in time. But with so many companies and agencies competing for your account, choosing the right one, choosing the right agency becomes a challenge. You know that you want to pick the most incredible design partner from the best of them.
Looking at the statistics that Archita just shared and the various reasons that you might be looking out for a design agency, the next question is how are you going to take the decision? Let's look at a couple of criterias that you may think of. First one being location. Would you consider location as one of your criteria? As we know that due to COVID-19, a lot of people are working remotely, and almost everyone is open to picking agencies across the world. Now, with teams scattered across the globe, people are managing these time overlaps and working and coordinating very well. So, in the current situation, we don't think that location should be one of the assessment criteria. The other thing that we usually focus on is money, which is like really highly sought after criteria. So is it going to be cost or budget? In most cases, you're not looking to save money when it comes to looking for a partner who will play a very crucial role in making your business work or to convert your customers, right? Money is surely important, but it shouldn't be your decision parameter, is what we're trying to say. You need to be looking for a reasonable engagement rather than a cheaper engagement. You will understand now as we go across the whole process of how to pick the right design agency. You will understand what reasonable cost is at a given situation when you speak to multiple agencies. Now, with location, money, the next thing is there's a golden rule of choosing a vendor or a partner, which you might have heard of. Is it goes like all things being equal, people do business with and they refer business to the people they know, like, and trust. So you need to look beyond the conventional and orthodox criterias and emphasize on identifying credible digital partners, design partners. The, the agencies that you trust, you can think that they can act like a partner who can add value to your business. And most importantly, the ones who understand your business goals and who are ready to address your pain points.
The most difficult aspect of choosing a UX design partner is figuring out who you can trust. Like Ruchika rightly said, that you need to trust your design partner here. And every UX design firm today will have the strongest sales process that they are going to put up front, which will involve their best people, the best mock-ups, the best designs that they're going to put forward. So they all are making similar claims as to being innovative and engaging and having the most flawless communication process with clients. While some might be exaggerating, some might not, right? So others probably are really good, and everyone is making those claims. So this really is a challenge, and it becomes very hard to tell who is the right one. Most companies use the process of interviewing or asking for presentations from potential partners, asking them to deliver a presentation or fulfilling an RFP, a request for proposal as well. This is a standard or a conventional practice when you're dealing with, say, a software company or a marketing agency. But this process really breaks down when it comes to UX design agency. Now, let's discuss some things that you can do to make the selection worthwhile. Let's take a step back and think, why do you need a UX design partner? What are you expecting out of them? If the answer that you have in your mind is because we need a visual wow to our website, or we need a product that is easy to use, or our product right now is really hard to use, then you're not really looking at the root problem. Why do you need the visual wow is the root question. Why do you think or what do you think it is going to bring to your product? That visual wow is the root problem. Companies often presume that a workflow redesign or a visual refresh will solve the problem, and that is the real goal. But in fact, the real business goal is better market adoption or customer acquisition or improved support for sales and marketing, uh, customer specific UI change requests, so on and so forth. These are the real business problems. And the more precisely you communicate these problems, these business goals, to the vendors you're talking to and internally, the easier it will get. The easier it will get for you to align the teams, the vendor and your internal team, on the type of partner you want and the selection criteria.
Coming to the next step, now once that you've established your business goals that you want to achieve with that partnership, the next comes that what's your evaluation criteria. Now these criteria are going to be very subjective to your specific business goals, right? So have your evaluation criteria ready before you go out looking, for design partners. What this evaluation criteria helps you is how it helps you is that it'll help you amplify the difference among vendors and will help you narrow down the list of design partners. So let's take an example that your company wants to launch a new app, okay, in the market, and your business goal is to acquire new customers. So in this case, the key factors that you'll be looking for and that you'll add in your evaluation criteria could be finding similar success stories that the design partners already worked with, the agency has already worked with, the business outcomes that they've delivered. Business outcomes are really important, and you should always look for them. And the other thing is maybe you can look at similar industries. If the design agency has worked with similar industries, similar verticals, and there are many other ways that you can identify a design partner. And that we'll be discussing that as we progress in our session.
Sure. A good UX design vendor will have that curiosity and should be coming up to you and asking upfront that What is your business and product goals? Why do you need us? How do you think we can make this better? What do you want us to bring to the table? You will notice this curiosity in the right design partners you're looking for. There are many creative and marketing agencies that specialize in the visual and aesthetic aspect of an application, though it is a key aspect of a product, but it is surely a very, very small part of the main design solution that you're seeking. For example, your company is looking to, say, the recent project that I'm working on. Uh, your company is looking for increasing registrations, right? So, if your company is looking to increase the number of registrations for the website, the insight on what will engage and drive users to register on the website, what will help them end up registering on your website, is the main goal, is what you're looking for. You want the UX partners to point these things out. Like, do you want to semi-gate the content on the website? Where do you want to strategically place the registrations? What steps? Where do you think the user will be most vulnerable, would want to immediately register? These are conversations and ideas that you're wanting to have with your partner, with your potential design partner. And this will come from techniques like prototyping, user research, or contextual inquiry and usability testing. So, whenever looking for a UX design partner, we need to make sure that we're looking at firms who, in some context or at some level, include user experience research in their design approach.
So while we're focusing on defining business goals and establishing evaluation criteria, looking out for user experience research capabilities, we shouldn't miss out one thing, that is a cultural match. Now, it's no longer enough to choose a design partner solely based on their technical expertise, right? And their ability to deliver a project at hand. Now, since your design partner will be serving as an extension of your team, cultural compatibility shouldn't be overlooked. And why is that? It's because when goals and aspirations are highly aligned, the potential for seamless integration increases. That's what we do while we're hiring a new employee in our organization, and the same diligence and thoughtful approach should be spent while you're choosing a design partner for your company.
The best way to find out whether there is a good cultural fit, I'd say, between the companies is to ask them if they are willing to meet for a design workshop or an immersion workshop. Most design or UX engagements start with a creative workshop that involves a discussion or a meeting where you're brainstorming on the business goals and you're addressing the business requirements, as well as there's some creative thinking between among the important stakeholders and the design team. Find out if they are open to arranging or meeting you for a half day or a full day workshop to give you real insights into what working together would really be like, and if your respective cultures match or fit. The best UX firms, honestly, like, we embrace this opportunity and use it to also evaluate and find out if you or the client is a good cultural fit for us, the design agencies.
Now, in addition to the immersion workshop, don't be afraid to ask for a few customer references. Now, if a vendor does hesitate, that should raise a red flag. Impartial references tend to be great sources of insight of how the firm really works, how they deal with conflict, maybe unexpected challenges regarding time constraints, creative differences, etc. Now, once you get these references, make sure that you call those references or talk with them. And you may ask questions such as how I mean, how was that design agency? Were they punctual? What was the rate of the quality of their services? If something did go wrong, did they make it right? How did they make it right? And would you work with them again? Now, if you don't get an answer to the questions that, or if you get an answer that doesn't seem quite right, keep on following up, ask more questions, dig in, because most people will be honest if probed.
By now, you will be able to assess them based on their knowledge. If they are thought leaders in the market, do they have the power to reason and give you data backed up suggestions that this is why it works, this is why you do not place that button at the bottom but on the top left. So you will be able to assess them based on their knowledge, their design approach, and the design methodologies that they're using, because this immersion workshop will give you a very clear picture as to how the team really works. How do they address problems? How do they face challenges? It's going to give you a very small glimpse into the scenario, but it's better than not knowing anything at all before signing a contract with a design agency. And good UX companies should be able to accurately describe design processes to you. So you can always keep that in mind when you're talking to them. Like, for instance, like I said, that why would they want, they would probably be stubborn about solutions where they think that this is going to really work. And if they can back it up with some reasoning, that means they have good knowledge of their craft, and their design approach is up to the mark.
Now, along with this, a design agency should be a business partner and not an outsourced vendor. You need people who have the knowledge and the experience to spot potential UX blockers, and identify further optimization opportunities. It is important to have designers on board who have the expertise to recommend, operational services, or they should give you professional advice on how to improve your design. Now, one of the signs of an outstanding UX agency lies in its ability to develop a UX that will take your idea to the next level. It will basically unlock your idea and help you gain substantial competitive advantage.
Look for the business value that they are highlighting in their case studies or their portfolio. What should be you should be looking out at for is that how strongly do they want to focus on the business outcomes or the success criteria, or um, which projects they manage to bring value to the business. So that's something you need to be looking at. Are they only about the visual refresh that we were talking about, or are they more about the design solution, the success of the business that they've given to their clients? After all, there's no point in a pretty website if it doesn't really help in to draw in customers.
So the most of the design agencies that you might have come across, their value proposition revolves solely around their excellent UX design capabilities. But there are agencies in the market which can offer a wide variety of skills. Experienced design service agencies provide just much more than UI UX design services. They could also include UX strategy and planning, maybe UX writing, or workflow functional designs, user research, which is very important. They might offer workshops, branding, and content strategy services as well.
So the reason that why we bring this up of finding a UX partner who has varied skills is because even though we mentioned that you have to define your business goals and why you're looking for a partner and what are you looking to get out of them, right? But there might come a stage when you will need other skills to support the business goals, and you do not want to step out from that partnership, or if this team is say 50% in the process of achieving success for you, and they completely understand your brand, then there is no point of going out for some small patchwork for design and making this whole redoing the process. So it's always good, this is a good to have, I'd say. Now, community contribution, it is a tool for you to gauge passion and stay up to date with relevant technology and trends in the market. So, by contributing or by making contributions to the community, you are assured that the people you are going to partner with, who you're going to work with, are not only excellent at their skills, but they also are passionate about it. So there is no second thought. The clients have met. I have been an active contributor for in the Drupal administration UI, and it's like making a conversation with your clients. So when they meet you, they really want to know how did you work on the design system, or how was the team working. So coming to which we'll discuss in the summarizing step in the next one.
So, to summarize, here's the mantra to picking the right design partner for you, who's willing to understand your problem and deliver a lot of value to your organization. So, we basically chalked down three stages. The first one is to identify. Identify the right design vendor. You may ask the following questions: how long have they been in the industry? And why should you hire them and not consider other agencies? What makes them stand out apart from their competitors? And who are their clients? Such questions, and many more questions you can add. These questions will help you filter down the design partners who have the potential to take your business to new heights.
Right. So once at this point, after you've done the identifying stage and you've identified the potential partners, at the cultivate stage, you should have a list of potential vendors and you'd want to start cultivating a relationship with the selected team. So this is not a 1 day process or a 1 week process that I'm going to explain. The answers I will be looking for at this stage with the team is uh, to understand if the vendors understand the industry you're working in. Do they understand your business goals and your customers? Do they are they responsive? What is their culture, work culture, or are they reasonably priced in the market? What are the market trends they are looking at? How active are they in a given community? uh, how are they growing and in the market? So how to cultivate, there's some activities or some things that you could do to build or nurture your relationship with the potential vendors, which is you can start connecting with their leadership on LinkedIn. You can start engaging with the leadership and invite them to your webinars, attend their webinars. You could uh, if it's say a design company, you could follow the star performers on Dribble or follow their work, follow them on social media. You can meet them at community events, something that we were just pointing out, that community contributions. You meet so many people here and you see how they're working. You see their not just their excellent skills, but also how passionate they are about things. So this is how you're cultivating your relationships during community events, code sprints. Invite them. And when you invite them to your workplace, you are giving them an entry, or you're uncovering your brand to them. It's the workspace, the culture, the people. They're getting to know not just your brand, but your customers, and what are your pain points is something they're discovering. And another thing that to do would be to add them, automatically add them to your mailing list. Do not skip that. Keep them updated as to what you're doing and what is your goal for the next 2 quarters or 2 years or for a decade, however your team works. And if they have launched some recent project, or they've solved some problems recently for a client that exactly matched relate to yours, feel free to reach out to them, because you've already built a relationship and you've kind of cultivated your relationship with them. you have a different bond with them. You'd want to discover things that they're doing for others and things that they've done, start an idea together, initiate something together. They're already learning about your brand and your customers. Now, every interaction you made during the cultivating stage, you have had something to take from each other. You've learned and picked up something from one another. There has been a transaction of ideas constantly. So now that you've now that you've cultivated and nurtured this relationship, and you've uh, in a very nice way understood about each other, it's just like pushing a button in Activate. When you have a design ask, you push that button, and by now they have learned about your company, your consumers, and are ready to bridge that gap and address your business goals and your troubles as they're truly ready for it now. So feel free now to send them the request for proposal, ask them, and you surely be rest assured you're receiving something way better than what you would have for a completely new partner who doesn't understand your brand. There are other things, like when the selection, after getting proposals from your short list, you are finally ready to select the vendor and move forward. You can now fill the last remaining blanks in your evaluation criteria that you had made, and you can make that decision. We are not going to evaluate on the contract, we're not going to elaborate on the contract negotiation here, but because this is probably out of scope for our session, but this is more subjective. This is the budget or the cost, or who are you finally choosing, is something that's going to be as per your business goals and your evaluation criteria that you have built.
Great. So we'd also like to tell you that our upcoming session this Thursday, we will be looking at how design and Drupal is impacting and changing the content delivery landscape. Delivering refined editing experiences for enterprises. We'll also touch point on how flexible designs deliver incredible scalability, and the importance of component-based driven designs, and how design thinking is the core of empowering content admins. So if this sounds interesting, do join us on Thursday.
Okay, we are happy to take any questions if you have. Please send them in the Q&A section. We'll take a look and answer. And we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holidays. Again, saying that again, wish we could have done this in person, but we couldn't. So I'll check for questions.